This is not everyone's idea of being on holiday, but for these people, it is a break from routine. Well, of sorts. Most of these people work in the health service, so you'd think they'd want to get away from this sort of thing. But no.
BP 110 over 75.
They're being trained up to be even better, but not in the usual way. These men and women are members of 204 Field Hospital based in Belfast, and they are Army reservists.
Well, this is a challenge that they don't get in their day jobs. It has phenomenal training quality, absolutely superb high-fidelity simulation in the hospital, a realistic tempo on the exercise to simulate what you would get out on an operation in the field. It's just the best training that money can buy.
The Army is relying more heavily on these people, and this is not a war game.
It's a fantastic facility. As you look around, they have brilliant equipment, and it gives you a really good idea, feel of how it would be and the scenarios that they're putting you under. So for me, I'm learning with the rest of the guys, going back to basics, and trying to maintain your standards as a nurse and looking after the patients under those very difficult circumstances.
Everything must be executed with precision because their next deployment is just around the corner in 2017.
What you're seeing from walking around the facility is it's much smaller than you would get in a normal hospital, and so therefore you can form the relationships with other departments, with following the casualty, preparing and giving care to that casualty, and actually get a much better feel for the organisation as a whole. And so I find that people's skills, both interpersonal, as managers, as leaders, as organisers, and actually just thinking outside the box and bringing a different slant to it, that's what they go away with in terms of something to take away from the exercise.
Left lower leg amputation, respiratory rate 26.
These health professionals will see things that most of us will never witness in a lifetime, having to analyse problems in high-stress situations. And what they are proving here is that they can deliver NHS standards in a tent anywhere in the world.
This is the real thing, really. This is what we take when we go abroad, either for humanitarian work or war fighting or whatever it may be. So we're very used to the tent, and it's very flexible, very useful. It can be set up quickly at 16 hours or so from setting it down to bringing the first patient in through the door. It contains everything we need, and it provides really good high-quality medicine. Yes, that's fine.
Next year, these reservists will be somewhere in the Middle East. They could be in Jordan or South Sudan, providing medical and humanitarian care to refugees.
Teamwork, of course, is essential. You come into a situation like this and they have to build it up from scratch, and they were talking about even the orthopaedic surgeon taking part in the tent building, which I thought was an amazing bit of teamwork, because they can't operate a hospital without a tent, and they need to create this before they can do anything else. So it's really a situation of all hands on deck, people working together very cohesively, taking their different roles, each knowing their own responsibilities and lines of accountability.
The stress of dealing with terrible injuries in the battlefield also provides these volunteers with the resilience to do their job better in Northern Ireland. These men and women are now fully trained to cope with devastating trauma overseas and at home.
I've been training into a new role as a trauma nurse coordinator, and basically it is a concept where we have found that when we closely examine the treatment the patients have received on operations, we can feed that back into the education chain, and with that experience we can then develop and improve our treatment of patients in the future.